Look, okay, here's the thing. We do a post-game show no matter what happens. So you might as well be here to watch it, okay? So we're just going to do it. Go team, starting meow. All right, welcome into the DLLS Cowboys postgame show, and shout out to the people in the chat trying to set the tone right off the bat. Somebody told me to fire off, and somebody who watched the pregame show knows that Jesse Holley big-timed us today, and he's not here. And instead, we have the great Seneca Wallace in, former Iowa State and 11-year NFL quarterback, is hanging out with us, and told him you better not do no politically correct quarterback speak, or I'll go off on him too. Look.
I love it.
Look. How'd that treat you?
It was rough. Not gonna lie, it was rough. You know, it was. I know we were talking about, watching the game. It was very lethargic. I think just on both sides of the ball, both teams look like they're a little tired from Oxnard, getting back here in the Dallas groove of things, and it looked that way. It just wasn't a very exciting preseason game.
So let's see. We multiple people here. One, I can't get mad over a preseason game. Right. Preseason games like that feel as if years have been taken off my life. So my one thing is, and throughout the course of this postgame show, look, I don't play around.
Notes.
Okay?
Notes.
All right, look, we're going to have stuff we're going to talk about. But I will tell you, the overarching theme is I don't like being bored by football.
Correct.
I like being entertained by football.
Correct.
And that was kind of torture. I
agree.
But we're glad you guys are here. Hit the like button on your way in or else, which, of course, is not a threat. And I'm going to hit the first super chat we got. Elijah, I seen one coming. Mark's in the super chat. Super chat means they give us money.
Love it.
They just gave us $10. Mark gave us $10.
$10. We're doing something.
Since the salary – okay, but you shrunk the box. I can't – okay, I'll read it over here. Since the salary cap, this team has done nada. A team with Nepo babies and management and a coach that's a Nepo baby. Let's all manage our expectations for the upcoming season and expect the least. Okay, let me tell you this, Mark. And let me tell you this. Facts. Seneca, I'm going to tell you something. Did you say facts?
Exactly.
Damn. Okay. All right, we're in for one tonight.
We are.
Because I have a great time sometimes talking about the people at the very top of the organization. I think sometimes they make it really hard to fully cheer for the organization.
Right.
Like that I grew up in Dallas, Texas. I want the Dallas Cowboys to win every football game they play. Sometimes the front office makes it hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even remember where I was going with that. So now I'm just saying it. I'm just telling you that sometimes I don't like the way that they do things.
I know where you're going with it. I mean, the organization right now, for every fan that is out there, they're frustrated. They're tired. Stephen A. Smith has been saying it for the longest. Just wait. And every year they get their hopes up and like, oh, here come the Dallas Cowboys. And then you just have to wait for the first opening ceremony of the offseason when you can go and sign players and they do nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And then you're like, we have holes to fill.
Well, to be fair, that is spring break. They're on the boat somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, they're on the yacht.
It would be hard. It would be hard at that point.
But come on. Every year they get let down. And then all of a sudden, hey, we go and sign one veteran. He might change the trajectory of our team, but this isn't the case. And everybody's waiting for Jerry Jones to step down. He has to step down. We all know, and I'm not a huge Cowboys fan. I love it. I live here in Dallas, so I have to somewhat root for the Cowboys. But in reality, when you're watching it from a business standpoint, is it about the money or is it about winning games and bringing another championship to Texas, in Dallas, Texas? That's what it's about.
Yeah, and I'm firmly in the camp of sometimes I feel like I have to give caveats so that I don't come across as a hater or negative about the local team, the team that I talk about on a daily basis.
Correct.
So I just want to say I have played Madden franchise mode fantasy draft, and if I had the money, I would probably do the same thing. I would do what I want.
Correct.
I would hire my friends and family.
Correct.
And we probably wouldn't be the best team. But we're going to do it my way because I bought it.
And that's
because
how
it's
Jerry's
mine.
That's
I mean, he said it this training camp. I forgot at what point in the exact words, but it was basically, look, no one's going to tell me how to do this.
Right.
I bought it.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm within. Look, and this is in the context of a preseason game, which we'll get to. Right. The outcome of a preseason game means nothing. It means nothing. But there is relevance in the amount of guys that are playing in these games that will be contributors for this team, which is as many or more than the Ravens used. And they just beat the brakes off of the guys that the Cowboys are going to have playing for them this year. They are going to play.
Correct.
And that's tough. And somebody, Super Chat, Jay Litt, what is going to happen at DT? Mozzie is bad. I agree. And it's gotten to the point where Mozzie Smith, year 3, first-round pick. I have gotten to the point where I feel bad when I point out how not good enough Mozzie Smith is. Like, that's not an NFL starter. He maybe shouldn't be an NFL rotational player.
Right.
But he was a first-round pick. And so they've done nothing to make that position right because Jerry Jones looks at it as, I used a first-round pick on that.
Correct.
It has to be fine. I already did it. I picked a guy.
Yeah.
So it has to be good. And when it's not, the urgency to do something about it is zero.
Right.
And that's most of the defensive line that just played. That's your guys. That's them. Osa wasn't out there. And that's it. Well, Solomon Thomas wasn't out there, but like that's very journeyman, rotational. These are the guys, a lot of them, that are going to be playing NFL football for the Cowboys right now. And I think it's the third offseason in a row where they just haven't taken identifying what they don't have seriously.
Correct.
They're just so draft and develop. Whoever's here will get better, and we'll figure it out that way. And if we have a hole to fill, instead of signing a guy to a 4-year, $100 million contract that only counts $6 million against the cap this year, and then we'll pay later and keep pushing it back if we want to because our goal is to win a Super Bowl, they will sign a guy to a 1-year, $6 million contract and tell you, look, we did the same thing. And I need Dak and CD. I need Dak and CD. We got one more of these, and then you're going to need your team to score 30. Right. They got to score 30.
Can they?
If they can block well enough, maybe.
Can the decision maker, can the play caller come together and figure it out and be able to score? Over the last few years, we've watched the Dallas Cowboys honestly play sometimes lethargic on offense. And have they shown enough to where they can carry a franchise like the Dallas Cowboys into the postseason, into a potential Super Bowl? No, I don't think so. Defense wins championships. And if your team looks like that,
they ain't going to do that.
That's what I'm saying. And, I mean, I get it. Yes, it's the second preseason game.
Right.
But like we just talked about, if those are the starters on the D-line, over the last couple of years, we've talked about how they're undersized and how they're getting up on their second level guys. They're linebackers. And if you're going to have an offensive line like the Baltimore Ravens that can manhandle and change the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a long year for the Dallas Cowboy fans.
Tim's in the Super Chat, $19.99. He said, F it, here's to the pool fund. I appreciate you. I still owe $31.4 on the pool.
Look at it.
And so when people are trying to help me pay that off, I sure do appreciate
I love
it.
Get the pool taken care of.
Let's see. Sick like Milton is negatively affecting the growth of the offense. And I think that's hard. And that can be, I think that probably should be a good chunk of what we do today because we have a unique opportunity. Because if you've just joined us, Seneca Wallace is co-hosting this show tonight with Jesse Hollyoff doing other stuff because he didn't want to hang out with us. Right. And so we can get the perspective of a guy who played over a decade in the league at quarterback. And I'll just start with a whole bunch of words and then you take it wherever you want. Because before the game, I have felt like I've seen this offseason before. I watched last year when Trey Lance took every snap because they wanted him to be good enough to be the backup. When it was over, they decided he wasn't, and Cooper Rush would be the backup.
Right.
So when Dak got hurt, Cooper Rush had to play. He didn't play in the preseason. Cooper Rush said this offseason that he wished he'd gotten to play some preseason and he would feel more ready. So now we're watching this again, and Joe Milton goes out there and plays. And we'll go more in depth on his performance because I think there's a lot there in both directions.
Right.
But once again, at the very end of the game, you're putting in the guy that might actually be your backup quarterback in Will Grier. And the very first play he's out there, hold the safety with my eyes, deliver a perfect ball down the seam. Then there's a fumble. Then he can't hit a check down. Then it's like, and I'm like, I bet he wishes he had played a half of each of these games. And it's like, I don't even think I like the way that they're approaching the preseason in terms of all Joe Milton all the time. Because if it turns out after one more week of this, they go, he's not the backup, then you didn't let your backup get ready.
Right.
And that feels unfair to me.
And I would say you have a valid point. I think as you look at this and we take Will Grier and his veteranous leadership that he may have, that's what we saw in the very first play when he looked the safety off and he threw the seam.
Yeah.
That's what you'd expect a veteran to do. But there's also a thing called rhythm. It's just like any basketball player. When they get in a rhythm, that goal expands and it gets bigger, right? It's the same thing for a quarterback. When you get in a rhythm, you're now hitting your back foot, you're getting those completions. But if you don't ever get in a rhythm, if it may be in practice, preseason game, or a regular season game, it's very difficult. Yeah. And so for most quarterbacks like Cooper Rush, even last year, Will Grier, potentially this year, you want to get those reps. Those reps matter. The reps are very, very important. But the way they do training camps now, you're lucky enough to get your backup 5 reps.
Yeah.
Because I have to get Dak ready. So with that being said, we have to see if Milton is our guy. And it was very valid in what we saw in this preseason game. The kid has all the tangibles. He has the physicality. He has everything that you're looking for a quarterback. And maybe suits what Schottenheimer wants to do offensively. But at the same time, your job description as a quarterback is to throw the football, correct? And throw the ball accurately. We'll take all the other stuff. We know the game is mental, but you have to be able to hit completions. And when you miss, we need you to miss very small, not big. Give our receivers the opportunity, and we can mess with that. But from what we saw today, I don't think that Milton is quite ready to be the backup for the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion. I know there's obviously one more preseason game, but with Grier, obviously, I think that the jury's out on both of them, to be honest.
That you might not have your backup. But also, it's the Cowboys, so you do. It's going to be one of them. Like if you think they're going to actually do something because they think they're not good enough there, I think you're probably mistaken. Brian's in the super chat. I get that Milton needs to develop, but what about the other 11 to 15 guys on offense we can't evaluate because Milton can only complete 2 passes and a half and every drive is 3 and out? It's a joke. Yeah, that sucks because I think as we go through, I wrote down every position group on this team and thoughts that I had in this game on guys in every single position group. And part of it is, so one of the receivers who's fighting to make this team, and maybe he can't because maybe they're only going to keep 5 and we already know who they are.
Right.
But Ryan Flournoy is a second-year, 6th-round guy that's had a good camp, looks like he's taken strides from a year ago. It plays in practice. It plays in the games when he gets to catch his 2 passes.
Right.
And then there's 2 balls where you're like, oh, great job. That was a nice route. Well, you gave him a nice window to throw to, and he missed you by 15 yards. So are the coaches going to evaluate that as great job? Like, look at all of the things that you did great, or it doesn't really matter because you didn't get the ball, and we don't get to look up and be like, man, he caught 8 balls tonight. This dude is out here getting it in.
Well, here's the thing. I think most of the scouts, most of the coaches all know the work is done in training camp. The evaluation in the preseason games is just another part of it. They don't put a whole lot of stock into these preseason games. They really don't. We want to get through the preseason games healthy and get to the regular season. We evaluated Will Grier since his college days at West Virginia. Milton, we evaluated him when we got him from New England. They know what they have. They know what they do in practice. Now, let's get through the preseason game. So it's not only just this as a fan's perspective when they're watching this. You got to sometimes take it with a grain of salt because they know the receiver positions very well. They know the offensive line and what they can do. Yes, they already know, like we talked about pregame, who they already have in their positions.
Yeah.
These are our top 3. We're just looking for one guy who can stand out maybe potentially on special teams.
Right.
Right? But I think the evaluation of all the positions in totality with the running backs and receivers and the tight ends, they know where they stand. They know that Milton's going to struggle with certain things. They know that.
Yeah.
Now, can he process? Can he do the things? Can he get the spit the play out at the line of scrimmage? Get to the right protection call, which we saw earlier. There was with a sack, safety. Those are the things they don't want to see. All right, we'll understand the other things. All right, we know that, but at the end of the day, from a standpoint of a quarterback's perspective, can I get this stuff in my ear? Can I spit it out? And can I process at the line of scrimmage? I'll deal with the other stuff later. There's a timing. Like I said, there's a rhythm that goes along with it. And he might not work with a lot of those receivers, right? So there's a lot of different variables that go into evaluating a guy in a game like a preseason game like that.
So our post-game show is going to roll on for another 45 minutes. We do an hour after every Cowboy game. Clarence Hill is going to join us from AT&T Stadium at some point. Your questions, the things you want to talk about. If you have a position group you want to hear about, hit us up in the chat if you're watching on YouTube, even if you don't like the result, even if you're mad at your football team, even if sometimes you're super mad at the Joneses. Still hit the like button on YouTube because it's good for the algorithm, okay? Thank you. So coming up next, our post-game show rolls on. We have so many things to get to. It is the DLLS Cowboys podcast post-game. Now I want to tell you about our friends at Game Time. And I wish Jesse was here so that he would have to read it because I like to distract him when he's doing the Game Time reads because at the end we go, what time is it? Game time. Ooh. And I like to just go, ooh, in the middle of it. But whatever. Game Time, $20 off your first purchase with the code DLLS. So if you're looking to go to a game, I bet the football games, I bet they're cheaper than they were a couple years ago. I bet they're getting a little more affordable. $20 off with the code DLLS on your first purchase. So get the Game Time app on your phone. It's great for last-minute tickets, any of your local teams. You want to go to a comedy show, you want to go to a concert, whatever you want to go to, make sure the Game Time app is on your telephone. And, yeah, you can get the all-in pricing there so you don't get tricked. I know you've been there. You go, man, you know what I want to do? I'll go to the hockey game tonight. Sweet. This ticket's $62. And you go, check out. And it's like, all right, your $62 ticket, $436. And you go, what in the world is that? You can get rid of that on Game Time. Get the all-in pricing. You'll see everything you're going to pay right up front. It's wonderful. Get the Game Time app. Get $20 off your first purchase with the code DLLS. What time is it? Game time.
Game time.
Also, I want to tell you about our friends at PrizePicks. PrizePicks is awesome because all you got to do is say if you think that somebody's going to have more or less than their projected stats in any given game. Could have done that for Joe Milton tonight. Could have done that for my guy Deuce Vaughn. The deuce is loose. Could have done that. And the more picks that you combine, the more that you can, the more you can make. And eventually maybe I could pay off the pool if I get it right. What I like to do is pick Philadelphia players and less than, just to feel like a hater. Like I like to say Jalen Hurts is terrible. I'll take less than on passing yards because he won't ever have to pass. You know why? Because his owner and his front office have built a juggernaut of a team because they try their best to build a team. And so then they have an awesome team, and the quarterback doesn't have to do anything except throw a slant every 11th play. Congratulations. I'll take the less than on Jalen Hurts every single week. Hit up our friends at PrizePicks. Use the code DLLS. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. It is the DLLS Cowboys post-game show. I'm Jeff Kavanaugh. I'm alongside Seneca Wallace this evening. We have that's a special treat for you is what that is.
I love it.
That's a special treat, especially on a day that is so much about quarterback because the Cowboys preseason has been very much about Joe Milton. And we talked about it a little bit. You get to see all of it.
Yes.
Like going into it, if you wanted to pull 3 to 5 plays because you think that Joe Milton's awesome, you could do it. And if you wanted to pull 3 to 5 plays because you think Joe Milton can't play lick, you could do it.
Correct.
It's all in there.
It's all in there. It's all in it. Every single thing. It's just the way it is. I mean, if you want to see a pass that goes over someone's head, 20 yards, you want to see a pass that hits the DB in the calf, you want to see a sack for a safety, you can see it. Then you want to see the arm talent. You want to see the movement, right? Rolling out to the left, getting the shoulder square, hitting the over route. There's things there, but it's too inconsistent.
Do you think that NFL teams are, I don't know if it's wrong because every team does it differently, but the amount that people are tantalized by or obsessed with, well, I can't teach.
Correct.
Throw it 80 yards in the air.
Right.
I can't teach 6'5", 220 runs a 4. Like I can't teach these things. Do you think maybe NFL coaches, I have an ego. at my job. Do you think some of them, it's just they believe in themselves too much?
Yeah.
I can get him to do
Right.
when people have been trying to get him to do it for how long?
Right.
But it keep like the guys who have size, mobility, big arm.
Got all the tangibles, but they got to have it between the ears too. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes that's something that's lost. I mean, high-level football IQ, understanding, we can't get caught up with all the physical stuff, the big arm, like you said. I take you one back to Kyle Bowler. Kyle Bowler got drafted from the simple fact that he threw the ball 40 yards from his knees.
Yeah.
But you got to evaluate what you see on film. You got to evaluate that individual in person, have a conversation, see what he's like off the field. All right, is the person a good locker room person? Does he have high character? All these things, is he a good leader? How does he study? How does he perform? He could be like Jamarcus Russell. We could send him home with a blank CD of a blitz cut up and say, hey, did you look at that CD? Oh, yeah, man, there was cover 4, rotation 66, fire zones, cover 0, all that stuff was on there. And then you're like, dude, no, it wasn't. Right? And so you have to understand in totality what kind of quarterback you're going after. And we can't get so caught up in all the physical attributes. Oh, the big arm. And someone did their homework because obviously there was a reason why he wasn't drafted. Was he free agent?
Late
round, sixth round
Patriots.
6 or 7 rounds, right.
Or maybe 7, and then you traded to 6, something like that.
But physicality, and from a physical standpoint, he has everything that you want. But there's something missing on why we're just not connecting on the grass.
Yeah. Rocking through the super chats. What do we want? Jeff here. Schottenheimer is Witten's sacrificial lamb. I do enjoy that. I like a good recce specky. We like reckless speculation. They had to hire an unknown so they could fire him after 1 year and make Jason Witten the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
That is something that can clearly look. I'm in private school coaching.
Yeah.
The word is at Liberty Argyle. The word is
scoop.
He's already removed his younger children from the school, setting up a removal from the program potentially after this year. Potentially, from what I've been told. So there could be a possibility. Look, that's the new trend, right?
Breaking news.
It could be.
Jason Witten.
Just what's today? Today's the 16th?
I don't know.
It could be. 16th of August. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, I love that. We got some good Recce Specky today. Let's see. Mark in the super chat, at the very least in the preseason, just be competitive, and they are not for 2 games now. And a big part of that is because they're just trying to see what they have in one quarterback, and that is making it tough on everybody. Right. And then 2 games in a row now, we get to halftime, and I'm like, this guy can't play. Why do you ever put him on the field? And then he throws a 60-yard bomb into somebody's lap, and I go, oh, I forgot.
But that's the thing.
Okay, I get it.
Still too inconsistent. Yeah. We get caught up in the wow moments, but the wow moments aren't going to win you championships. You can get all the wow moments you want, but if you're down 21-0, but he's throwing a bomb, cool.
Kevin Gray Sports is in the super chat, who's also the host of our DLLS Mavs podcast, who's giving away his money from the company back to the company in the super chat. Offense stinks. Run defense stinks. Backup QB situation, yikes. Micah still isn't signed, and the preseason hasn't inspired any confidence at all, honestly. Yeah, and I do wonder if there is a point, because we went to the premiere of what's it called? Go Cowboys 90s Netflix show. I forgot. America's Team. The Gambler Team. And his Dallas Cowboys or whatever. And even the title of that, I'm like, yeah, once upon a time, buying a football team was a gamble. Bringing the college coach Jimmy Johnson was a gamble. Letting that college coach be an NFL GM was a gamble. Like, you did a lot of gambly stuff. Charles Haley, Deion Sanders, lots of gambly stuff. You don't get to live on that reputation that you built in 1990 to 1993 in 2025. Right. Jerry Jones is one of the most conservative general managers and team builders in the entire NFL, and one of the cheapest. You don't get to keep pretending you are that person just because you were once. I don't like it. And I wonder, because we are, at least in my recent lifetime, maybe when they were, was it Campo and Gailey, like 5-11 all the time? Right. Maybe at that point it was this bad. But I don't think, like, the last couple of years is the most down bad I've seen Cowboy fans in terms of, like, this is a preseason game. That doesn't matter most years.
Correct.
That's a Cowboy game.
Correct.
Just my circle of close friends, a lot of them I was doing things with before we came here, and they had to let me off the boat. We were at the lake because I had to come to work.
Right.
And they were like, "Oh yeah, it's fine. We're just gonna go back out." And I'm like, "It's a Cowboy game."
Right.
But I do think that that's happening to people.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to happen because I talk about them for a living. So stay here. Thanks. Hit the like
Stay
button.
tuned.
But and I don't know. Maybe it could be enough at some point to make that guy come back. But I don't know. I think maybe at the age of 82, when you have now a team that was just released again, you're worth $12-point-something billion. You're comfortable. Your family works with you. Your friends work with you.
Good.
That person might just be gone.
Right. Right. And you hit it on the head. I think the organization has become complacent. I think the organization doesn't have that drive. It doesn't have that leader at the top in Jerry driving them to say, hey, we need to do this. Like you said, they become too comfortable. And sometimes comfortability sometimes can lead to bad things happening to your organization, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't want any change. And that's where they are. I mean, Jerry has to give up and relinquish some of his duties, or all of his duties for that matter, and say, hey, we have to get the Dallas Cowboys back to where they once were. No one fears us at all. There's no teams coming in here and like, oh, we got to play the Dallas Cowboys. For the last couple of years, they've been the laughing stock of the league. You know, every time you turn on some of the shows, they're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. That's good and all, and it is good, because you already mentioned it, because it's made the star the biggest thing in sports, and everybody knows about him, talking good or bad. So at the end of the day, I think he's doing his job, which obviously is to market the brand. But at the end of the day, as a fan who pays their hard-earned money to go out and watch this game of football, they want to see a good product. Yeah. And right now they're tarnishing that product and making fans say, hey, I don't know if I want to spend my hard-earned money to pay $45 to park, and then I got to walk a half a mile to get to the stadium.
I was going to say, you're walking a long way if you paid $45.
You know what I mean?
You had to pay $1.20 if you want to have a short walk.
Exactly. You know, and then go in and pay the high-priced food and this and that. And it's all about the experience. I get it. But as a player, I want to see good football. And right now, they have not been doing it.
Yeah, but have you ever had that Cowboy Rita?
I've had everything. I've only been in a couple games, but I mean, shoot,
I've had it all.
They have good food. I mean, the experience for a fan going to the game is top notch.
Super chats. Let me keep rolling through those. We do appreciate every single one of you that is in here. Thomas, as a wise man once said, we don't prepare for effed. Dak injury away from Arch season. Arch Manning. Yes. Mm-hmm. That was the great. You didn't. I don't know if you remember Tom Moore, the Colts. I think he was Colts OC. Somebody asked him about Peyton Manning one time.
Okay.
Where he was like, "How come the backup isn't getting reps?" And
he
goes, "If 18 goes down, we're effed. We don't practice effed."
Oh Lord, yes. Yeah. I get it. No doubt, but you got to be prepared.
Anthony's in the super chat. I hope this doesn't mean Booth is going to make the team. LOL. Mozzie too. It's over. Get two actual pros in here. And as for Milton, Seneca, what you got left?
Right. I need to come back. I might have a quarter for you, but it's the recovery time that might be a little suspect. But
if you had 4 bye weeks between each game, you could play?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, hopefully I don't pull nothing. But, I mean, it's just like, you know, it's as you get older, your mind gets sharper. It's your body that's telling you something else. I can beat them pre-snap, beat them post-snap, but at the end of the day, can I come back and do it again? I need 4 bye weeks in between.
Did you just quote an R. Kelly song for quarterback play?
I think so.
Tim is in the super chat. Who's out there for trade at DT? Is trading Tolbert for a DT a possibility? We can dive into that one, and we can dive into everything else. We can dive into Jeff's notebook of fun notebook for your Cowboys post-game show. We got all that coming up, plus Clarence Hill live from AT&T Stadium. It is all coming up for you right here on the DLLS Cowboys post-game show. But first, I want to encourage you to, what do you think, Elijah? We're doing Die Hard, Vegas, merch? What are we talking about? Vegas? All right, guys, here's the secret I'm going to tell you. I'm going to Vegas. And by I mean our show. We're going to Vegas. And you're invited. We want you to come with us. You go to truefantravel.com. I bet you could find it from our website, alldlls.com. And when you sign up for that trip, it's when they're playing the Raiders, which, if the Cowboys are who I think they are, that's still a win. We're going to win that one. So you might as well come to Vegas with us for a dub. November 15th to 18th. The game is on the 17th. When you register for this bad boy, 3 nights, all-inclusive at a Vegas luxury resort, tickets to the game, VIP thangs, hanging out with us. Clarence said he's going to be front twerking in Vegas. I don't know what that means, but that's what he said he's going to be doing. And so do that. Come to Club Pop Pop. That's wherever Clarence is considered Club Pop Pop. Hey,
pop that thing, pop that thing, pop that thing, pop that thing, pop that thing.
Club Pop Pop. Yeah, join us in Club Pop Pop, the Lotion Lounge.
Sapphire.
Yeah, we're gonna be having a great time. And we need people to go, because once again, much like the Die Hard thing, if you're watching the pregame show, I told you about this Die Hard thing. I make a lot of money here, but if you guys don't sign up for the stuff we offer, they got to cut. They got to cut people. I make all the money. Don't let me get fired. Come to Vegas with us instead. Go to truefantravel.com. Check it out. We're going to have ourselves a great time. There's a White Castle on the Strip. If you like those little tiny burgers, I'll get you one. I'll get you one of those. Clarence will drink some brown with you, and Jesse will host the Bible studies in the morning to ask for forgiveness.
Oh, no.
And I think we'll all be squared away. truefantravel.com.
Oh,
this is the DLLS Cowboys post-game show. As we roll on, I remind you one more time, the outcome of a preseason game doesn't matter. The fact that some of the things that we're worried about in the regular season didn't go great, that's tough. Would you guys be okay if I told you some things that I thought were positive? Do you think I could find any?
I think you might be able to find.
Do you think I could find any?
Maybe 3. Maybe 3.
Let me see. Virtual measurements.
Woo, that was crazy. Had to look up at the Jumbotron to see that one.
I didn't think that was good. I think that took longer than just taking the sticks out there.
It absolutely did.
I think that took longer. So that's actually not a good one. So let me see if I can find a good one. Here we go. Got one. Cowboys linebacker group. I think sometimes it gets muddy and it gets weird because they have struggles in front of them. And if guys are getting pushed into your lap, you're screwed. There's nothing you can do about it, and you're not going to make a play. But when you had any sort of competent sort of things happening in front of the linebacker group, I don't think that there is a star in that group, but I think it becomes a challenge to figure out who plays and who plays how many snaps, because for a team that the last couple of years, it was like, well, Eric Kendricks, if he's not hurt, will be okay. And outside of that, I don't know what we got. Now I think you brought in Kenneth Murray, and he's looked okay. And right now he starts and Jack Sanborn starts. Right now that's what they do. Sanborn, that's a football playing dude. He's not, and this is not racial profiling. This is observation.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
I'm just telling you. Kenneth Murray runs faster than he does. He jumps higher than he does. Jack Sanborn is an instinctual football playing dude. I wish he wasn't white, so it didn't sound like stereotyping.
But it is. We got to call it what it is. It's the same thing that's happened for 40 years at the quarterback position. What do they always say for white quarterbacks?
The white quarterback can really read the defense.
There you go.
He might be able to command the huddle.
The huddle.
Make good decisions with the ball. His pocket presence is great. He can identify the protections.
There you go. Yeah. All the smart things that they like to say about quarterbacks. Nothing athletic.
No.
You know what I mean? Didn't buy jewelry. No. Saves all his money.
Okay.
Doesn't go out and buy an Escalade. All the stereotypes of black quarterbacks. We get it. Right? It's the same thing for white DBs and white linebackers. We get it. You know what I mean?
We're making a push right now, by the way. The white DB is making a push.
That's right.
I'd like to shout out to Cooper DeJean.
Ballin'.
He's trying to make something happen for us.
Ballin'. He's
trying to keep white kids in high school that are great corners from having to move to safety.
Absolutely. But you better have speed.
You better be able to run.
You got to run.
So the linebacker group, Maris Leofau has been really good in camp. Dude thumps. And, he plays with his hair on fire. And some of my favorite football players are the ones who the personality is so different. Like if you just watched a football game and you said, okay, Maris Leofau, tell me about Maris Leofau. I'd be like, aggressive, loud, like because he is just out there playing on fire. And then he takes off his helmet and it's like, hey, it's good to meet you. Yeah, I thought we'd give it. Like it cracks me up when guys are so different.
Troy Polamalu.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's the same thing. But you want to see the switch go off when they hit the grass. And that's one thing that stood out to me. There just wasn't a lot of people flying around. Right?
Yeah.
That's what you want to see from a preseason game. Who's going to stand out? And that's why I said earlier, it's just very lethargic. No one stood out for me flying around offensively or defensively or special teams. I just want to see people out there loving the game of football and flying around. We'll talk about all the X's and O's later, but show me that you want to be out here with a want-to attitude.
Shamar James is a fifth-round rookie linebacker for the Cowboys that made a couple of plays, and I guess I had to say, so this is in spurts because it's not, like to your point, It didn't look like a team that was – and maybe it's just like, I don't know, sometimes I struggle with, were they not flying around and not trying their hardest, or are they not good enough? But the linebacker group, I think they're 4 or 5 deep now and guys that can be an NFL starter. And for a team that had a lot of groups, I go, oh, you don't even have one. Yay, I found a position group where we're okay.
No doubt.
You're okay at safety. No stars, but you're okay. You're okay at linebacker. No stars, but you're okay. Well, let me get Overshown back. Then we might have a star, but that's gonna be a while. And so that was a positive. Let's knock out super chats, and then we can keep jumping around.
Love it.
Where am I? I'm at C. Jenkins. 30-plus years and same results. Cowboy fans will never learn the common denominator. Last name Jones. Until they're gone, this team will be but. That is the common denominator, yeah.
No doubt.
And it's I think most people know it, right? Like the turning point for this team, you can pinpoint it to exactly the day where Jerry Jones' ego outgrew his will to win. It was the day that he told Jimmy Johnson, in your next contract, it's going to say, I get to make the football decisions. And Jimmy said, absolutely not. Well, don't you like winning? And Jerry said, all right, well, then you can leave. And since that day, you stopped building the best football teams.
Right.
Shocking.
Right.
Like, yes, it's easy to pinpoint the day. Blaming anyone else is silly. Don't blame Tony Romo. Don't blame Dak Prescott. Don't blame whoever you want to blame. Don't blame Quincy Carter.
Ooh.
This is Jerry's. Mark's in the super chat. The best news for all Cowboy fans, Jerry's kids will run this thing after he's gone. And then Jerry's kids will run this club after them. It's so inbred. I mean, that is the way businesses tend to work.
Nepotism.
But we're just going to try to win some football games. That's what we're going to do. I don't want to think about that right now. Sports guy T.O., I know it's 2 preseason games, but the last time I felt like this watching the Cowboys, Chad Hutchinson was quarterbacking this team. This does nothing to evaluate anything. A complete waste of time.
There you go. These some great ones right here, man.
No, y'all are taking it out of me. These aren't great.
I'm just saying they're actually the chat is on fire because they're speaking knowledge. They understand. Like after watching that lethargic game, there was nothing. We literally sat and we wasted 3 hours of our night. I'm just being honest. I mean, I'm not trying to be a hater, but there was no excitement there. They scored 13 points. It's a preseason game. I get it. But really, truly, it's the last preseason game is coming up against Atlanta Falcons. That typically is it, right? And your starters won't play, right? So at the end of the day, really, you got to treat this like in the old ways. This was the 3rd preseason game. This is the last tune-up before regular season, right? So it just doesn't really leave a really good taste in most of the fans' mouth going into the regular season against Philadelphia. Yeah,
and there's nothing you can really do differently except have better backups.
There you go.
Clarence Hill is at AT&T Stadium. Let's check in with Chill. Let's go visit Club Pop. Oh no, Chill, you don't look like you had a good time during this game. Chill, you do not look happy.
Was anybody happy to watch that? I'm like, I don't know why the fans I'm like, I've had no drinks. Okay, I need a drink. That was, it frustrates me because I was trying to ask Shotty about Milton and the backup quarterback, and you got perfect example. Cooper Rush on the other side of the field, a guy who's won games for you. Okay, he's not special, not athletic, but he's won games for you. He's a proven winner. You have nothing at the backup quarterback position that you know can win games. You don't even know if they can move a team down the field, let alone win games and run an offense. And how are you not concerned? He keeps talking about we didn't have many opportunities in the first half. It's because you never get a first down. You did nothing.
The game
You,
didn't
you did
change.
Terrible.
you did nothing to help yourself get a first down. You still can't stop the run. You got gashed against the Rams. You got gashed. You can't blame him because we didn't do tackling drills. I mean, this was a poor performance. He wasn't happy with the performance of the team. Certainly, it wasn't a good reflection on the coaching staff. Hey, are they still
Hmm.
having fun? They still doing fun things? Is it still about fun and energy? Does this look like fun to you?
Zero fun, sir, as they would say and
Yes.
Remember the Titans.
Remember
Well,
the
I mean,
Titans.
Dak and CD are having a good time on the sideline. Like, they haven't played yet. So, like, that's the hard part is for the guys who are out there getting whooped.
Right.
Like, that sucks for you. But Osa and Dak and CD and Tyler Smith, like, they've got to be like, whatever. We'll see y'all in a couple
What, what,
The
weeks.
shit. That
what,
was just
what,
it was bad, dog. I mean, honestly, like what you just said, everything about what I just heard you talk about is, yeah, they're having fun. That's good. We can be very energetic in pre-practice, run around, rah, 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 this and that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to execution. It comes down to, are your players going to react and take on the personality of the head coach? We all know that. Every team always does that. And they haven't had that coach to come in here and really galvanize the team and say, hey, this is how we're going to do. There's no level of physicality whatsoever. We saw
right.
that, right? They're running downhill. They're changing the line of scrimmage about 5 yards deep into the linebacker's lap, which they already are playing undersized and outman at the linebacker position. So there's a lot of things that really, as a head coach, and I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, all right, we got a lot of work to do between now until we play Philadelphia.
And I'm glad you brought a reflection of the head coach. And when you talk about the energy and the personality of the head coach, for first two games, you're talking about a new head coach. Nobody was ever going to get him a job. Got this job. This has not been a good reflection of the type of what he wants. This is not what he, this is not something he wants on his resume. How this team looks, how this team has played the past couple of weeks. He's preached and preached about being physical and being a running team. They getting beat on both sides of the line. He keeps promising us, well, this is not it. We're going to stay committed to it, but whether it's the backups or the starters, they are a reflection of the work you've done in training camp. This is a
Correct.
reflection of what you've done, okay, and what you put out there, what you've taught them, uh, and it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable at any level on the way they get gashed on the ground and running game, where they can't run the ball, the way the quarterbacks continue to misread, make bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
It's incompetency, and that's what's on your resume as a head coach. We love you in the press conferences. We love what you've done. We love your personality, how you talk. We love the fun and the vibes. But this has been an incompetent looking football team through the first two preseason games.
And now, Clarence, I'm going to blame the guy that I always blame. Because if your players aren't good enough, the guy who puts the team together probably didn't do a good enough job. What are the chances that Jerry looks at what he has at backup quarterback, what he has at cornerback, what he has on his defensive line, and does something about it instead of telling us we have young guys that we like and they're competing and you just wait, buddy?
I mean, the sad part is we were talking about this before the game because I was having fun with some of the guys, and we're like, did he stab McCarthy in the back? I mean, everybody wants to talk about this team, but Jerry did nothing for McCarthy last year, right? He brought no
Right.
players on. He did something in the spring. He did something in the offseason. He did something in the free agency. Look at the players they signed and traded for. He actually did something to put players on his team, and it still looks like a mess. Yes, I think they're going to add some players following final cuts. Sure, cornerback, but can you add enough? And certainly, I was talking to Todd Archer today, and he said, "Well, go get Teddy Bridgewater. You're
Right.
looking for a backup
Yeah, why
quarterback
not?
to play. Go get Teddy Bridgewater. Find a way to go get Teddy Bridgewater. There's somebody who's going to get cut from a team that has played before, that has driven the bus before at quarterback. Because you got two guys that have never really driven a bus. successfully in a regular season game.
And
Seneca's ready.
Hey, and you hit it on the head because they're going to be into it, especially if you look up and God forbid we talk about this. Knock on wood.
Dak is late to he misses the bus. He sleeps in.
And you don't
Stop
want
it.
those other two dudes based off this performance to have to step in and play. I mean, because it's a bad look, and it's not even anything that has over the last 2 weeks in the preseason games that you're going to be like, man, we got to hang our hat on this. I've seen this. They've done this. And it's sad because it always starts in the preseason. It always starts in the offseason. We've seen this same trend over and over and over again. And until they fix it, it's going to be the same result. And I hate to say it, by the time they're going to look up, they might be 0-3, 0-4 at the start of the season.
Oh my God! Don't do that. Don't. We got to cover this team. Don't even say that. Don't even.
No,
Do not. Do
I wanna-
not.
He didn't
I
have to do
They
know.
that.
better beat the Giants in week 2. Okay, and they better beat Chicago in week 3. Okay.
They
One
better.
thing.
Maybe.
One thing. Have you seen a guy go from sugar to not sugar? I don't want to say the other word because I want to get in trouble.
Boy, you look at that. You look at you learning.
Sugar to not sugar, like Joe Milton. There were so many people, can I say, glazing him in preseason
Well,
training
you
camp
did, so.
for the throw. Can we? I mean, and now you look at the internet comments, and everybody's off the bandwagon. Everybody's like, "I'm done with Joe Milton. Get him off my team." You know, because I pulled quote out the Joe Milton experience, and it's an experience. It's not a good experience. It hasn't been a good experience. But it's funny because I was, in
Better be
camp.
funny.
It just frustrated me because the beat writer would just post positive videos of him throwing a laser, him throwing down the field and making completions. But they didn't show all the incompletions. They didn't show all the stuff that was going lopsided. There were times when they would be throwing it to the net. We move away from the net because we didn't want to get hit from the ball. They never showed
we
that.
did that.
No.
Yeah,
So-
we did
Jill,
that.
don't say that,
Yeah,
man.
we did that.
I mean, hey, we keep it real here. We keep it real.
He said we had
I'm
to
just
move
saying,
away from
no,
the
No.
net.
Dak hit the middle square, then the top square, then Milton took the ball and hit the crossbar. And we were just like, we should probably just step this way a little bit.
we got to move out the way, dog. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like I said, like a Scud missile, man. It's something. We got to watch one more of these things. I'm ready for football season.
That's what I'm
Let's
saying.
go. All right, thanks, Chill. We'll catch up with you. I don't remember what day of the week it is, but I'll see you whenever our next show is.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, chill.
What day of the week is it? Is it Saturday? Okay, I'll see him Monday. We got one more segment left. I do have another positive. I got one.
Ooh.
Plus, we've got your super chats. We'll wrap up this Cowboys postgame show. It's all next on the DLLS COWBOYS postgame show. Also, one more desperate plea to you to sign up to be a diehard. Okay, look, so what you get is, we already do these shows for you. Cowboys, Mavs, Rangers, Stars, 5 shows a week. We do that for you. And you don't even have to pay anything for that. You just get to watch it. You just get our content. Congratulations. Signing up to be a diehard would show your appreciation. But most people, that's not what you care about. It's not what I would care about. I want free stuff. So here's the good news. You get a t-shirt as soon as you sign up. Value of that t-shirt's about $36, which is the cost for a year of being a diehard. And look at this, the new Dallas collection. Look at that.
Oh,
I got on one of them. I want that one that looks like it's like a diner.
Mm-hmm.
I want that
On
one.
the left. Yeah.
And I want that top middle one too, just because I don't know what he is. And I don't know what he's carrying. It's like a little mining axe, but it's the Texas flag, maybe.
Yeah.
But I want it. Yeah, okay. Except not technically, because that would be copyright infringement.
There you go.
He's a near estimation of some logos of teams you might know. But you get a t-shirt when you sign up to be a diehard. You get access to all of our diehard level content on the website, so you can read everything. You get an ad-free experience on the website. You then get discounts on merch and experiences, anything events that we have, you get those. Oh, and I didn't even tell you the best part. You get into our Discord. Are you familiar with Discord?
I'm not.
Do you Discord?
I'm not.
All right,
I don't
well-
really Discord.
Well, when you get in Discord, we send you an invite link when you're a diehard and it gets you in there. And then we have the main channel where, it's the diehard chat. You talk about whatever you want. We have a channel for the Cowboys, for the Stars, for the Mavs,
Okay.
for the Rangers. And the hosts are in there. We're all in there farting around. We have a channel for food, movies and TV. We have a wrestling one. It's not for me, but we have people in there. Jesse's trying to get a feet one up there. One that's just about feet.
Feet.
Picks, thoughts, things like that.
Okay.
Sign up to be a diehard or else. That's not a threat. It's the DLLS Cowboys post-game show. One last thing. I should have led off with this just to make so that Cowboy fans had something to feel good about. I will tell you this before you get access to the NFL Pro, or if you're like Seneca, you probably have somebody in the league that could send you game tape if you requested it. I bet you could make that happen. I have to pay for it on NFL Pro.
Okay.
Before you've gotten the all 22, the multiple angles of a football game, which I'll have tomorrow, it's hard to give a definitive like, man, I think this individual offensive lineman did this.
Mm-hmm.
But I do try my best because Tyler Booker hadn't played in the preseason yet, and he's the Cowboys' first-round pick. So I had eyes on the right guard as often as I could until he was out of the game. He looked good. Your right guard looked good. So, he powerful. Nobody punked him when he was pass protecting. Would have loved to have seen they had to keep him in all the way into the third quarter because their goal was to play him 20 to 25 snaps. Right. Which should have meant he'd come out somewhere in the middle of the second quarter.
3 and outs, yeah.
But a lot of 3 and outs meant that he had to play a lot longer time.
Mm-hmm.
But your first-round pick looked good. And so if I'm searching for positives, I will say one of the guys that I was anxious to see take the field for the Cowboys, we got to see him take the field for the Cowboys, and at first look, he appeared to do well. He did some people moving. He did some nice walling guys in or out, depending where the ball was going. He did a little moving some people. It wasn't enough to get anybody a first down because the right guard doesn't get first downs on his own. Right. But I thought he did a nice job in his first actual NFL action, so take that. Super Chats.
That's a shame.
Where am I at? I should have put him at quarterback. Let him get some run there.
That's a shame that your positive was the right guard. That's about it.
Yeah, the right guard. Right. And the right guard was pretty good. That was my positive.
Okay.
Miles Sanders, I thought looked okay. He just didn't get to do a lot because they kept punting. But I thought he looked okay in his first action. Right. Made a couple of nice little runs. C. Jenkins, when will there be a revolt against Jerry like there was against Nico after he traded Luka? Jerry's family ties has ran its course 20-plus years ago. I would say the pendulum, the percentages, are higher than they've ever been of anti-Jerry more than pro-Jerry. And there are people who still love him. Like, he's still really cutesy and he says fun stuff and we like him. And when I'm standing next to him, like, you like the guy. Right. The way he runs the Cowboys organization drives me nuts. And I think his approval rating is lower than I can remember.
It is. I would have to agree. To your point, though, I think that Jerry Jones says enough and does enough just to keep people still on his side. He knows what he's doing. He's a marketing genius.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what he does. But I think just from a fan standpoint, people are getting so frustrated and upset by the lack of, and it's a carryover thing because, like I said, it starts in the offseason. Everybody's like, hey, where's the Dallas Cowboys? We're not doing anything. And we need X, Y, Z. And I think that's where the frustration lies. I think it's just the amount of like, hey, if we go out and we look like we're being aggressive and it doesn't pan out, cool, we'll take that. But when we're just so complacent and all the other stuff that goes along with it, I think that's when the fans start to get super frustrated with Jerry Jones.
And I think this is probably, at least in the last 3 off seasons, this is the most they've done, but I still think it was very Cowboys of them.
Yeah,
the George Pickens move, that was an aggressive move. I give them credit for that.
Yeah.
I like that. I appreciate that. They needed a number 2 wide receiver. We told you that the year before, but you waited an extra year.
Correct.
And then you weren't able to draft the guy that you hoped that would fall to you, and so then you moved on to your next thing. But I like it. That's an aggressive, I want to win football games move. But he's in the last year of his contract, so if you're not extending him, that's a win-now move, which you forgot to make the win-now move of how are we going to stop the run?
Correct.
Do we have enough at left tackle? How are we going to survive the first month of the season at cornerback? Like, if you're going to give me the one win-now move, then let's go try to win.
Right.
Now.
Right.
As opposed to, it'll be, and what Jerry will say is, and I did, and we traded for, and we got you, George, and that if we don't win the Super Bowl, I did go get you a superstar. I did that. Now it's up to the highest paid player in the league. But you go compare the rosters of the best teams to this team, and like you're just asking too much of guys.
And that's why I said earlier is the fact that they have to surround Dak Prescott with good quality players. It doesn't have to be a big name guy, but what they did with Pickens, they took the pressure off CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Right? So then now they can't double him. They got to try to move him around. They try to disguise him. But at the end of the day, yes, they have a target on the outside, which helps. But now we need to make sure our running game is going to be. Rico Gathers is gone. So what are they going to do to run the ball? We can't ask Dak Prescott. We've seen it in the past to go and win ball games throwing the ball 30-plus times. You can't. Just can't.
I like 40-plus.
40-plus is way too high for him. Way too high.
I want to throw 50.
And you're going to ask for bad things to happen.
We only throw 2 picks.
Right. It just happens in the game of football. But at the same time, like you said, what did we do defensively to make our team better? We got gassed in the run. And I would like to know, how many rushing yards did we give up against Baltimore tonight? I'm going to say it's plus 200.
Okay, I'll say it was between 150 and 2. Hold on. But yeah, I bet we're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Rasheen Ali had 62. Ernest Johnson had 61. Miles Gaskin had 20. Devin Leary had 148.
148 yards, 148. But that's too much in a preseason game. It literally is. When you did that combined through 4 people, and it's not even – just imagine if they had the real monster back there.
Oh, yeah.
That's 200 plus.
Or they're starting O-line.
They're starting O-line. Or Ricards, right? It's like it's a different picture because, like we said, there was a couple of guys defensively that they're counting on that were playing. They're going to get a lot of playing time. So it would have looked vastly different, too, in the running game. So those are things that they have to fix, and they need to figure it out now.
Are you familiar with – because you're coaching the Battlehawks, right?
Yes.
Which is UFL.
Yes.
UFL.
Correct.
Quarterbacks?
Quarterbacks.
Is what you're coaching?
Quarterbacks, yes.
So are you familiar with Perion Winfrey from last season? He's a defensive tackle that was in the UFL last year that right now, outside of Osa, is probably the Cowboys' best defensive tackle.
Are you kidding? What team was he with last year?
That's a great question.
Because this was my – no. The name sounds
question.
familiar because I know they were talking about him, but this was my first year with the Battlehawks. So I'm not really familiar with all the players throughout the league from last year.
That's a great question. Best not to worry about it until I can find it.
But that's their best player though, on the D line.
I mean, outside of Osa, like the D tackles.
The D tackles.
I think like they found Turpin came from the UFL, right?
Yeah, of course.
And then this year, like I think they found another one. Not that I think that he's some sort of dominant or even necessarily starter level, but with what they have at that position group. Outside of Osa, he's probably the best one I watched in camp and probably the one that played the best. And I think that's just a reflection of, like, I would love to just give them credit and be like, sweet, you found a guy. Yeah. But I also look at it as the UFL guy is going to be your best NFL player.
Well, you can't knock it, though. There are some players now.
For sure.
There are some players that, right now I was looking at it.
Birmingham.
He
was a stallion.
The Stallions. And there's a lot of great players, man. Literally, there are players like Hakeem Butler, Sailors, our running back now is with the Detroit Lions.
Did you just name an Iowa State wide receiver?
I had to.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He was a draft pick, right, with the Cardinals. And, it's the UFL is it's an opportunity for these guys who might be lacking the playing time,
right?
Maybe hearing it from a different lens, a different coach, a Chris Claiborne with linebackers, Laura Glover with the D-line. But it's also an opportunity for them to keep getting the reps and getting the film. And it helps with their confidence. This dude probably balled out.
Joe Milton and Trey Lance need to be in the UFL.
They need to. Probably that's where they need to be.
Yeah.
Just keep getting the more reps, understanding how to look at defenses and break down defenses. And if it's with the right team will do that. Because there are teams in the UFL who are just cookie cutters and it's super vanilla. But there's also teams that are doing it the right way from an NFL standpoint. So then that way, those players can transfer over and they can step in right away and be potentially the Dallas Cowboys' best D tackle.
Yeah, the NFL and the UFL need to be buddies.
They got to be.
Where it's like,
got to be.
And I don't want to, like, it sounds disrespectful to like make it a minor league thing, but if you have a young quarterback who has not had the college experience, the whatever experience, and you could get him on the field there, y'all need to be buddies. Y'all need to figure it out. Partner up.
Buddies, for sure.
Super chats. If I missed any, we got a rapid fire. I got a rapid fire from just one. Thanks to Seneca for being here.
My man.
Look at Mark. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Hit the like button on your way out. Make sure you're subscribed to the DLLS Sports channel if you're watching on my channel. If you're watching on DLLS Sports, just look up my name. I have a little tiny individual YouTube page for you to follow right there. But we appreciate you guys being here. The Cowboys lost, but we're not going to let it ruin our vibes. You know what I'm saying? Have a great night or else, which is not a threat. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. We love you.
Right.
Be easy.
Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.